Hello, and welcome back again to the Inventors Arena. I'm Ed, and this is Scott, and today we're going to be discussing a fun subject, Ring, the one that got away. Tell us about it, Scott.
One of our favorite Shark Tank episodes, right, Ed? Yeah, so this one goes all the way back to 2013 when Jamie Siminoff went before the Sharks and presented what at the time was called Doorbot and actually made a fairly decent pitch. You know, he had everything in order, but sometimes it just doesn't align with the investor's thoughts. And that's what happened in this case. In fact, there was one investor, Mr. Wonderful, who did make an offer to him, which he rejected. And as an inventor, that's difficult when you get an offer and you're standing there and you think, I'm going to pass. But he was prepared to do that. He had done his homework, just like we do in the course, and he knew at the time, I'll accept this, I will pass on that.
Yeah, and it kind of takes the wind out of your sails if you're not prepared mentally for that, right?
It is, yeah.
And you could say, well, it's not going to be the Doorbot forever. It's going to be the Ring doorbell on every door. But anyway, it shows us lots of good lessons, so that's why we're bringing it to our audience. Well, let me tell you what happened next. So this is fun. I get to be the bearer of good news to follow up on Scott's disappointing start. So Siminoff, the inventor, persevered. Then he rebranded, secured other funding, and kept moving forward, determined to make his idea a success.
Yeah. So let's get into the good news part of it a little bit more. So ultimately, he did rebrand, and he came back and he pitched again, but this time he pitched to Amazon. And Amazon was very interested in Ring and actually acquired it for $1 billion.
That is pretty good news. Thanks for sharing the good news, Scott.
Interestingly enough, his valuation at Shark Tank was $700,000.
That is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's so many interesting aspects.
It is. So he either improved the value or the perceived value, or Amazon saw that it fit with their portfolio enough that he got an additional $300,000.
Yeah, and they probably said, oh, Shark Tank, you had a big miss here. How about we talk to this fine young gentleman?
And it happens, but then years later he was invited back, and this time he got to sit in the shark chair.
Yeah.
You know, because he was a success, and that's good. That's good that the other sharks welcomed him back. That's good sportsmanship.
Yeah, we're all about good sportsmanship. That's fun. You got to have fun while you're doing it too, and take things with a grain of salt sometimes. So, like you said, this is one of our favorites, and why? And we'd encourage you actually to watch it too, because it shows one of those things we love, that perseverance thing, and that it pays off, right? Because, you know, it shows not to get down on yourself if the first pitch isn't the home run that you were hoping for. Like, look at all the time and effort and you know, enthusiasm, everything that he put into it, and then you go there and it's like, no, or it's just not a deal that's going to work, but that's okay. You know, home runs are great, but getting on base works too. That's like the thing that we like to teach too.
Yeah, that is very true. You know, there are many things that need to be in place before you even get up to the plate.
Absolutely.
And everybody wants their chance up to the plate, which in this case, we're talking about you as the inventor sitting across the table from an investor. And sometimes you'll hit a home run, and other times it just won't mesh, and you'll get to first base, and they'll refer you to somebody else. And other times, you just strike out.
Yeah, you strike out, but then you come back and you do hit the home run. Because in reality, how many times when you're up to bat are you hitting a home run every time? You're not, generally.
Yeah.
It's fabulous if you do, but, you know, there's other things that go into it, like, you know, being a good team player, and and if you don't hit the home run, you hit the base, or, you know, the base hit, or just go on to the next thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, you go back, you keep looking at what you're doing, you're refining each time, and, you know, eventually you get up to base, and then you hit that winning home run that you're looking for.
That's right. And we do know there's a ton of effort required. And we understand most of you see the TV show Shark Tank or Dragon's Den and don't truly appreciate all the work that goes into just getting up to the plate, right? Not even getting that home run. And most people see it either as a home run or a strikeout, right? So that's not truly the reality like we bring up. It's just not.
Yeah, in fact, if it's your first time out and you're starting, first base is great. Hit your
Sure
single, hit your double, and keep moving forward. We often talk about progress, and just keep moving forward all the time. We know inventors and investors get frustrated all the time. Sometimes it's just not a match, but you go back, you make the effort, you make the additional effort, you refine all of your materials, you refine your pitch, you take the feedback that they give you, and basically putting together a package from a concept all the way through to getting funding is an art.
Yes.
There's a lot of science behind it. There's a lot of programmatic things that you do, but oftentimes it comes down to, do I have the right idea? Do we have the personality style? Does our working style work? There's the art side of it from the inventor side and from the investor side.
Yes.
And it's not magic. Maybe a little bit of magic and a little bit of luck, but it's also a lot of learning and a lot of effort that goes into it.
Yeah, really, when you look at it, it's a recipe, right? It's a dash of this and some of that, and we don't have this, so we're going to use that, and so that's why we developed the program, so that we can teach you the art, kind of step by step. Because as you mentioned, a lot of it's a science, but a lot of it's an art too.
It is,
and we realize there's a ton of effort that goes into it. It is absolutely not easy, but it can be refined to a point so that you can follow through and have success with your invention.
Absolutely.
So the beauty of the program is that you're prepared to pitch to many different types of investors. And for example, with the ring, the doorbot or whatever, they pitched first to Shark Tank. That wasn't successful, so they went and pitched to Amazon, and it was successful. And in your world, there may be friends or family, or there may be angel investors or venture capitalists, all kinds of different folks that you can look to get your funding that you so desperately need from. And like Scott said, you want to be a good match with your investor counterpart. So important. And then you can both win in the arena, and that's what we're really looking for you and for your investor. So next time you see the Ring doorbell, take a moment and think of how it came to be. It's just a very exciting story. It gives you, when you're walking down the street and you see it on somebody's front door, it's like, that's kind of a cool story.
It is. And we love cool stories. We love happy stories. And oftentimes, as we said, you're not successful the first time, but you do at bats. Using the baseball analogy, you strike out 2/3 of the time. And even the best batters, only hit the ball 1/3 of the time.
Yeah.
If you're batting .333, you're having a good season. So we like that. We like the happy stories. As Ed said, we have a program that helps with many of these pieces that get you ready to sit down with those investors. And you can go to theinventorsarena.com. We think it's a good idea for you to join inventor groups if they're in your local neighborhood. And please continue to send us your ideas and suggestions. And if you have watched an episode or you have a product idea that you've seen on TV and you want us to talk about it like this, we would be glad to consider that. We hope that you like and subscribe our content and you come back and visit us every week.
Thumbs up.
Yep, give us your ideas, give us your thumbs up, and go out there and be the best inventor that you can be.
Yeah, be resilient, be perseverant, be all those things that you need to be just to get it done, to get success. We're rooting for you.
The Inventors Arena.